Bwana asifiwe. Grateful to the Lord for opportunity to be here. I accepted a long time ago to do revival meetings in a church in Kiambu. And then when the General Secretary came to me, I had to request the church to release me at least for a day. So last night I was speaking in the church in Kiambu, and then I have just flown in this morning. And then tomorrow I still promise to go back and preach. So you see me one day here. It's because I had earlier committed myself to speak throughout the week in that church. But I'm very grateful to the Lord for opportunity to be here. And I want to say three things before I come to my topic. Number one, KSCF is a student thing. That's why we call you associates. You are not KSF. KSF belongs to the students. You are people who associate with KSF. Are we together? And it's important that that is understood. That's why we have begun peer-to-peer counseling, and you are not a peer. Are you getting my point? We have begun peer-to-peer, and you are not a peer. So we want to emphasize the fact that if students' work will be done, it can only be done when students reach students. Are we together? Yes. Now, however, which is my second point, blind people cannot lead other blind people with all due respect. That's why they need somebody who can see, isn't it? The students are in high school for the very first time. You have seen me for once every year, and some of you have taught for 20 years. You have seen 20 from one, isn't it? Forgetting you also are from one. Now, so it's quite many. So, if Form 1 is going to help other Form 1s, they need somebody who has been a Form 1 before to help them to know how to be a Form 1. Okay, the point? Yes. That means, if the teachers do not become the counselors to the peers who are going to reach other peers, we will still do the work, but the quality will suffer. And so we need, as we emphasize peer-to-peer, we need to emphasize the importance of teachers and associates now taking a work that will help the students. Now, and that's much more difficult, because we are used to being invited to preach. Now, the more we see the teachers, the less successful KSF is. We want the teachers to work from the background. Nobody ever noticing them. When they say KSF is great, they will even forget to hire teachers. And that's going to be difficult, isn't it? When nobody recognizes your work. When I say nobody, God is not included. Am I communicating? Yes. So, and that is how going to be. So you see a wonderful Christian union, people getting saved, growing. And you can't see any teacher anywhere. When there is a CU meeting, they are just sitting at the back. Are we together? Because before the CU meeting, they have met the chairman. They have talked to him about to organize a program. They have talked to him about what to do when a crisis happens. Because they themselves have gone through many crises, isn't it? Now that is my second point. To understand that KSF work, we will still go on without you, but the quality will be low. We need you, not only to get quantity, but also get quality. And so it's my prayer, even as you sit, those of you outside, that you understand how critical you are to the success of the work. Thirdly, I want to say that our work, our vision is not good running Christian unions. That's not our vision. That's a means to an end. That's not the end. Our vision are young people influencing society for Christ. Yes. Am I communicating? Yes. So that even if you have a fantastic Christian union, the way to measure your work is how many of your students are active leading the CUs in the universities. We need to find a method where every CU patron will be interested in students after school, whether it's CASAT and beyond CASAT. Are we together? And if you want to know whether you did a good job. You do not know it by the quality of your CU. It is by the quality of the young people that graduated from your Christian Union. And I thought I need to emphasize that because sometimes you are so taken up by how the CU looks. And so sometimes we emphasize, we become specialists on minors. We major on the minors and minor on the majors. So you need to understand that what is critical in the CU is not how nice the CU members look. It is how deep are they in the Lord, and how they can operate after the school. How have they learned how to deal with people? Are we together? I got those three things I need to mention. However, my topic, do you know my topic? What is my topic? It's a very, very important topic because many years ago, remember KSF began in there was always ministry among the schools. The first camp that has been recorded is in 1954. But they were doing it cubicle, anyhow. They were just preaching anyhow. By 1957, the teachers met together and said, no, we need to be organized. So they agreed to form an association of Christian teachers and associates who are interested in ministry in the school. In 1958, they got the government recognition. Okay? Now, I was not aware when I did my KPE, nowadays it was called KPE. I did my KPE in 1967. And so when I first came into contact with KSF at the beginning of 68, I was not aware I was in the first 10 years. I thought I had been there for a long, long time. But my first contact was studying the KSF Bible Studies in January 1968. In another few months, it will be how many years? How many years will I have been in KSF? Who knows mathematics? If I entered January 68, in a few months it will be how many years? 50 years. And I want you to understand as we talk about that the work, there were very few high schools, but people were committed. In fact, one of the first team was called Roving Team. Why was it called Roving? Because there were so few teachers who were roving all over the country. And those days the train worked. So they would get into a train all the way to Shimoratewa here in Mombasa. Then get into a train next time in Yeri. There were trains that used to go to Nanyuki. Then they get into a train next time in Kitale. They were covering the whole country. In a camp, they will talk about how many corners of Kenya they have been. But you know what that meant? When they got married, we ended up with KSF widows. You know what a widow is? A person who has lost a husband. Am I communicating? We ended up with KSF, widows and widowers. Am I communicating? Yeah, and when your wife complains, you say, don't you know we are going to heaven? Unfortunately, marriage is another thing. But you feel so taken up by KSF work. Your wife should not complain unless she's going to hell. Now, you need to understand. You need to understand that when you study the scripture, we found that it's not true. The scriptures expect you to have a quality marriage. They expect you to be a quality father. Don't be so taken up by other people's children, although there are lots of own children, and forget your own children. In fact, which is my emphasis just now, Timothy was told, and Titus, this is our young bishop, Timothy was told, and Titus was told the same thing. Paul repeated himself. He said, if somebody is not a good father and mother, they must not become deacons. That means they must not be in KSF team. Am I getting the point? It's a scripture. Don't go to me. Go and read Titus and read Timothy. They were told that qualification to be a KSF associate is to run your family. If you don't, please resign. And the area, it's very important to understand. It's a very critical thing to understand. You know, I keep telling people they don't understand the scriptures are so rich. You know, the other day I was giving an exposition on the book of James. You know, and James says, let few of you be associates. No, he says teachers. Let very few of you be teachers. Why? Because the standard of measure will be high. That means if you are not joined KSF as an associate, you would have gone to heaven. Then you join the associate, the standard went higher. And because the standard is higher, now you go to hell. You never have joined the associate, but then you'd have mentioned with a lower nation. I mean, please don't quote me. Go and read the Bible. Go and read the Bible. Because you became an associate, the standard became high. And because you did not qualify that higher standard, you got to hell. But if one way you were still just as a commoner, you have gone to heaven. I'm not communicating. And that's what the KSM people discovered, such that in 1971-72, they decided this is too dangerous. We must begin a sister organization to KSM, and they called it CFF, Christian Families Fellowship, that would meet every Easter holiday. There must not be any camps in KSM, so that the associates and their children and spouses would go for a retreat. And by the time I got married in 1979, that's what I was introduced to. That we are busy preaching. We started the KSM work in Nyandarua 1974. So that's when we started. And we with no time, we were too occupied to bother with families until the same message came. So we started learning that every associate team must have a weekend where they don't bother with the students. They don't bother with themselves. My challenge in this topic I was given is to ask that your associate team have a family weekend. That time the schools were few, so they had one team in Nairobi. They used to meet in Brackenhouse. Now we can't do that, isn't it? Now the only question is that going on? The topic I've been given is to challenge you that every KSF team must have a family's weekend. But it's not a couple's weekend. It's not that you dump your children and go alone. It is that you come with your children. And for a full 2-3 days, we used to start on Thursday evening, so the whole of Friday, Saturday and Sunday, Monday you go back. And there are 4 programs that run parallel. The 4 programs are the couples are there with their small babies. Any people that cannot understand what we are talking about is welcome. As soon as they start understanding, they must go to another class. Because the kind of things I joined when I started attending the CFF, the kind of things being discussed are the kind of things that make you shy. You know, you can discuss such things here. You know, they are discussing bedroom matters, they are discussing how people quarrel, and how some quarrels can take you to hell, and others can help you to go to heaven. They were frank discussions. And you look at each other in my eyes and say, how do you speak such things? How do you speak such things? And that is what built our marriage. You've not been married for long. We got married in 79, so we are just about 8 years married. But I can tell you who we are now is a benefit to that KSF work of sitting us down to tell us students are important. But you will not be a good minister of the students unless you have a good marriage. And so we were challenged together. So you need to understand, my first point is, let few of you be associates. Why? If you choose to be an associate, the standard of measure will be higher. However, having said that as the first point, I want to tell you, don't be afraid of being an associate. Why? By being an associate, you not only go to heaven, you go to heaven with the debit. You know, the soldiers get debit. Yes. You know, it can be just a private, but it can also be a senior, isn't it? Yes. All of us will go to heaven on the basis of the blood of Jesus. Yes. You don't have to do anything to go to heaven. But the Bible tells us there will be people who will be in heaven with the tithe and others without. The choice is, don't be an associate, then you'll be in heaven like through a fire. Where everything is banned, but the soul goes to heaven. Have you done that in the Bible? Have you done that in the Bible? There will be people who go to heaven like through fire. Everything is banned, and they just go into heaven. Now, when you become an associate, you don't just come through heaven. You go there with the mentors. Am I communicating? And you'll not be the type that can be taken away due to doping. There will be mentors that last. Am I communicating? So it's important to understand, by being an associate, you are earning mentors. Taji. Am I communicating? And tajis are not what you get through the blood of Jesus. That is automatic. Getting to heaven, there's absolutely nothing you have to do. But when you serve the Lord, there will be mentors. So, do not be afraid of joining the associates. You join them, the salary is higher. But then it is possible to be the new higher standard because God will make it possible. Am I communicating? It will be possible. And that's what really is my main message. It's my main message in the, I don't know whether, no, I can see it's not on the board. I sent my presentation earlier. So I want to start by saying the role of the family in KSF work is critical because of 3 reasons. Number 1, when you come from a stable family, and I'm relying on Titus, the message to Titus, and the message to Timothy, when you come from a good family, it gives you courage to face the challenges of tomorrow. When you come from a disunited family, every time you stand before people, you remember the troubles you have in your home, isn't it? So it's important that the role of the family is to ensure you have a rich ministry among the students. Now, if you love your children, it will help you to know how to love other people's children. Am I communicating? So it is a critical thing to understand that without stable Christian families, it will not be easy to minister to people out there. You know, sometimes, and those of you who are single, remember, God has special ministries for you. You don't have to be married to serve the Lord. But there are certain things that can only be done by married people. Am I communicating? And you need to understand that. Let me give my family testimony. We started together. My wife is from Eastern Province. I am from Central. And we started preaching. They're single people. Then in 1979, we got married. Do you know, I discovered just by getting married, there are ministries that opened. I could now be invited to a couple's meeting to talk, which I was not going to write about. So I have to say, oh, this girl, thank you. You have just given me a new qualification that I never had before. So you need to understand, by getting married, there are doors that open that are closed to single people. But then there are also doors for single people that are not open to the marriage. We need to understand. But there are certain things. Remember, I'm talking about the role of the Christian family. So I discovered. Then we got our own children. By getting our own children, a new thing came. We were now able to minister to both the children because we understand them. Earlier, when you're in a meeting and a child made noise, says, what a hopeless parent. Can't you put up the old children? Only for you to be preaching, and all of a sudden, you are not a Christ. And you look and you realize your wife is doing the best. But the child is still crying. Next time children cry, you say, hallelujah, the blessing of the Lord. Now, earlier, it was a disturbance. You now learn how to work with the people, with the crying children, because now you understand them. They no longer hurt you. Last Sunday I was speaking at the Royal University, this last Sunday, 2 days ago, and I was sitting at the front, and the noise from the music such that I started getting trouble in my ears. And I was about to be unhappy until I remembered a few years ago, I also used to listen to such noise, and they never disturbed my ear. So I was able to survive. Now, so then somehow, as you get married, your ministry is enriched. Because there are certain things that were nuisance before, they are no longer a nuisance. When our children got a little older, they are now in primary school, my wife got such an interest in ministering to children that she opened up our house for a neighborhood Bible study. How did it start? Children were playing in Nairobi. Street children were playing at the back of our house. There was a place for children to play. And then they hit the ball and it went and hit our window and crashed it. You come out breathing fire until you remember you are saved. And you are dealing with them. That's when we started talking about what can we do about it. And realized children are children. They must play. That's when she decided to open her house every Saturday afternoon to buy them biscuits, drinks of all types, and he started telling them to come to the house for the drinks. And children like eating, isn't it? Within all her time, our house was full of children, and she started a Bible club. So they always look for, it was supposed to start at 2 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, we had 12 hours open. Because they were coming. Small children are very interesting. Older people come late. Young children come before time. They come before time. And that's how my wife started a neighborhood Bible club. That means wherever we went, people knew us. Oh, those are the owners of the house where we meet on Saturday. These days, those are many years ago, it's more than 20 years ago, in the early 80s. Now these days, you go to a hospital, you meet a doctor, and it reminds you, who used to come to our house. The other day, I was preaching at Gigiri, Karura Chapel in Gigiri, near the Two Rivers. And the pastor said, my wife told me, are you aware one of these pastors is one of those small boys? And then the pastor talks that he was a small baby when Mrs. Zina opened a Bible club. Now he's a pastor.
Amen.
I'm getting my point. You feel, wow, it was worth opening our house. But it was only possible to open our house because the parents asked, whose house are you going to? We are going to the house of Mama Tabitha. That's our daughter. Parents will not allow their children to come to your house when you have no child. You could easily be a child molester. But once you have your own child, you are going to Mama Tabitha's. It's okay? Many years later, we have no child. Our last born finished university 07. 2007 is when our last born finished university. Now, these days, you try a Bible club. We are just hoping that we'll get big grandchildren who can attract them again. But you try a Bible club and say, that house, we never see any children going there. But you see, it also opened a new thing. Our children were teenagers. When our last one finished primary school in the late 1990s, we now had teenagers in our house. And our children decided to start a teenagers club. Now, no longer for small children, but so within no time, our house was now full again. But not full, now we were not required, we were only required to buy food. They now organized their thing and they told us, Saturday, don't show. We had to because we are needed in our own house. But when we are living, our house was full again of teenage children. After some time, our children are no longer at home. Now, we just have to look for all the people to come. Am I communicating? I'm talking about the role of families. That the presence of children open a ministry that closes as soon as the children are out. Okay, my point. So you need to understand as we deal with the families, that whatever the age of your family, it opens a ministry that will close very soon. If you don't use it at that time, you are complaining, my children are small, I am too busy. Now be too busy. Later you try a ministry, nobody will come up to the house. Because the thing attracting your house, people into your house, is the age of your children. The second thing I want to emphasize is that if you truly want what I've just described, it will only happen when you involve your children and your family in your mission. The initial mission, whatever it is you have, it will be important to agree as husband and wife. Then involve your children. You don't require the children's permission. They just are part of that. When your children are small, they just become a part of it, isn't it? I used to be involved in KSF Kisumu, KSF Siaya, and KSF South Nyanza. Those days there was no Homa Bay as a county, so we were there. And they will remember that in the 80s, whenever we went, I would preach, my wife would give a testimony, my children would sing. We were, and I thought it would be forever. I didn't realize the time will come when we tell them to sing and they say, who are you singing? But at that point when they are young, they will be the choir. And that's what happened when those years in the 80s when my children were young. But that happens if you are united in ministry. So it means you must have a family mission which your children become part of. And they grow understanding that's the way we do things. So it's not a question because they grew up seeing you going to camp. In fact, initially, they really look forward to me preaching in the camps. Because they'll go to Kenyatta University and the young people are so excited jumping with them and they don't want to go to Sunday school. They want to go to preach with me. But within no time, once my children were the age to be in Sunday school, we had to agree with my wife. Now we can no longer preach together. Why? Whenever she is invited to preach, I must direct her to take my children for Sunday school. Why? Although we are so excited to be in Kenyatta University one time, KSF camp another time, it means we are not preaching to them. We are preaching to teenagers and teenagers, but they are still counting their years in single digits. Am I communicating? And we realize wisdom is to stop taking them to high school so that they can be in a Sunday school. And Sunday school is designed for that age. The teacher prayed for that age, he is preaching to that age. And you know, it sounds like it will last forever. But it's a short period. Because your children will join Sunday school when they are 5 years. But by the time they reach 14, they are too old for Sunday school. Am I right? So it's a period of only about 9-10 years. Why don't you sacrifice and allow your children to go to Sunday school? That means you can't go together as a couple. One of you will go, the other one will remain behind. And within no time they are finished. By 1998, our last born, we have three, our last born did finish primary school. And at that time, they can take themselves to Sunday school. So all they require is money. Are we together? And they are happy to go to church alone and go to, because Sunday school is over. They are able to join the youth group. So I am suggesting to you, you must structure your family life to incorporate your children. And that means at certain times, one of you must remain behind to take the children to Sunday school. But a time will come when they will no longer be Sunday school children, they are going to be going elsewhere. And it will be important that you are with them. That's really what we are discussing. Involving the family in your mission so that they are involved. So therefore the Christian Families Ministry of Evangelization is a family affair. It's not a single person's affair. You as a wife must be involved in ministry. But because you are married, it must be something you discuss with your husband as to how you are going to work together. But I have already said it. For a good family ministry, it will be important that you have a good marriage. And a good marriage does not happen by accident. A good marriage is hard work. Are we together? Timothy and Titus are being told, before you can involve somebody in church leadership, in the KSF leadership, check whether they are running their family well. But it does not happen by accident. Let me just start by asking, why should we get married? There are many single people here. I think it's important to answer the question. Why should you be married? According to Malachi chapter 2, verse 15, the reason you get married is to form a godly team to fight the evil one. Why are you married? Because the guy is fighting the devil. The boy is fighting the devil. They want to be united to fight him even further. Am I communicating? It's a godly family. Let me just read the verse. Malachi 2:15. It says, but did he not make them one? In other words, God is the one who made you one. Having a remnant of the Spirit. And why one? He was seeking a godly offspring. Therefore, take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously with the wife of the youth. In other words, if you want to serve the Lord well, even for us who have been married for 30-something years, it will be important to understand you must treat the wife of your youth. It means that God was aware that when you get to midlife, some of you are in their 40s and 50s, isn't it? Your wife will look rather different. You married Hafigai, after several children, giving birth to a children, you have become a drum. You are being told, be careful. You must not treat treacherously the wife of Hafigai. You must love her when she's a drum, the way she was when she was Hafigai. Are you getting the point? Bible. I don't want you to go to it. Treat properly the wife of your youth. Because the wife of your youth is the wife of you got when she was bigger. You must not treat her differently now that you have become. You remember, if you saw me when Rebecca married me, my hair used to reach here. I used to wear an afro hairstyle. You know, something happens and the hair keeps disappearing. And instead of having a head, you have an airport. Now you need to understand it clearly. You must be careful how you treat the husband of your youth. Don't start thinking now he is old. Why is God calling you into marriage? So that you'll be a team to fight the devil. And you can only fight him well when you produce godly offspring. And it will be important that you understand that. That's critical. That the reason why you are married is to produce godly offspring. And to produce godly offspring means you learn how to treat figure 8 in order to treat the drum also properly. That you start learning how to treat the guy who is in afro hairstyle so that you know how to treat him when he is and am I communicating? It will be important that you understand that. And when you do that, that's the way to produce a godly offspring. You see, the way you treat the mother of your children when she is old will show your children how to treat their wives when they don't have figure 8. Am I communicating? Because they watch you. You are an example. And they will watch you, how you are treating with them. So it's important to ask yourself, how are you treating your wife now? Have you started treating her badly because she is no longer figure 8? How you treat your children. I was talking to a men's meeting last week, and I told them, some of you, especially African men, they really love their children. Would you agree with me? And they dare to treat children. And sometimes they feel like, I am not bothered about my wife. I'm bothered about the children. But you know, to your children, they'll never have another mother. Am I right? So the way to know whether you're a good father is whether you're a good husband. You can never be a good father unless you're a good husband. These days, we are being told of children who are below 10, who are sucking stomach ulcers. Why? They are so worried that their mother will be divorced. And she's not yet divorced. Every time they hear a quarrel in the bedroom, they go to the keyboard to listen. Because you see, their class is full of divorced parents. So they keep wondering, are my parents also going to? So when they hear a quarrel, they come to the keyboard to listen. They are fearing tomorrow you'll be without a father. My friends, if you love your children, love their mother. There's no way you love them if they fear you don't love their mother. Am I communicating? My sisters, there's no way you love your children if you don't love your father, your children's father. Every time they treat you rude to their father, they fear the end is coming. Our marriage, the marriage is going to go different ways. So although they seem so mighty, they only pretend to smile to you. Because they keep thinking you are going to divorce their father very soon. My sister, if you love your children, love their father. When you see you smiling with their father, they know you are saved. My father is not about to be divorced. And the way they tell they have security is whether the two of you are in love. Not communicating. It doesn't matter whether you take them for a trip, doesn't matter how you treat them. As soon as they sense you are having trouble between the two of you, they know the end is not yet, but it's soon coming. So they are really in trouble. I'm not communicating. That's what we are learning. Why is he bringing them to become one? So that they can get godly offspring. And there will be no godly offspring when you are feeling like, I don't need this man. After all, his contribution is not equal to my salary. You know, these days a lot of women are earning more than their husbands. Am I right? My friend, your salary was not a donation to destroy your family. Am I communicating? No, it was facilitation for a godly offspring. Now it's becoming destruction to a godly offspring. Am I communicating? And somehow, men seem to be able to tackle a wife without a lot of money. But a lot of women have no capacity to handle a husband with the less salary. Maybe that's why you're not getting a promotion. Because God is aware that even if you get a promotion, that will be the end of your marriage. So that He helps your marriage, no one will keep applying and there's no promotion. It's not that God doesn't love you, it's because He loves you. And He knows you have no capacity to handle more money. I'm not complicated. But that does not mean that men don't suffer the same thing. Sometimes you treat husbands on the basis of their contribution. If their contribution is only half of the family income, you treat them like that. Not understanding to produce a godly offspring is dependent on the type of marriage you are having. And when I say marriage, how are you treating one another? And the children are watching. And the older they are, the more difficult it is to lie to them. Even by the age of 10, they can tell the quality of your marriage. Maybe when they are babies, that's different. They may not discover. But they only need to enter school. They are 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and they can tell very clearly the type of marriage you are having and whether it's the type of marriage that can help or that one that cannot help. You know, marriage creates a godly team that determines the next generation. Why are you a marriage? So that they can influence the next generation. Church growth was intentionally determined to be by biological growth. Let me tell you what I'm saying. If you are 9 boys who love the Lord and you are obeying God, just by, if your parent has only no sister is born again, it means you have to marry from outside the body gentlemen. Just simply by your church have 9 people. Just by marrying, it will end up with 18 people. Am I right? 9 girls have come, your church will now be double the size, isn't it? And it's not that you evangelize, it's simply that you marry. That's called biological growth. Biological church growth. That's what you say. Why marriage? So the church can grow. Let's now assume that the 20 couples, let's round the number. The 20 couples, let's assume they now are going to get 3 children each. Okay? Within one generation, 20 years, and they are not evangelizing, nobody is getting saved from outside, but within 20 years, they are going to be the 10 couples with 3 children each who are now adults. So how big will be the church in terms of adults? It will be the original 20 and another 30. It will be a church of 50 adults. Am I communicating? Have they done an evangelism? No. That is called biological church. And you need to understand the intentions of God as to why you have come together is biological church growth. How will the biological church growth work? And that's why the emphasis in the book of Timothy and the book of Titus. It is when you bring out your children in the fear of the Lord, the church automatically grows. And I know we are in Mombasa, which is strongly Muslim. That's how they are doing. You hardly see Muslims evangelizing. Am I right? And yet they are still growing faster than the church. Why? Because they concentrate on marrying 4 wives, 4 children each. So the original 2 become how many? Are you getting my point? That's called biological Muslim growth. So you need to understand as KSF, if our interest is the growth of the church, it will not be by how many camps you are having, but whether those camps are producing people with Christian families. Am I communicating? Malachi tells us the reason why families are being formed is so that they can get godly offspring. Hence, you cannot marry. Number 1, it therefore means you cannot marry an unbeliever. And I know some of the people I'm talking to are single, isn't it? You are better off remaining single Christian than getting married an non-Christian. Because if there are 100 of us and 20 are single, if they marry non-Christians, we will be minus 20. Am I communicating? We will now be a church of 80 because you have lost those who have gotten to marry. Now, so it's critical. Remain single until God leads you to a Christian husband. Because if you marry a non-Christian, it will be less, not more. But if you marry a Christian, the church will grow. So it's important to understand. That's why he is saying, please understand. God does not want any Christian girl to marry a non-Christian. You know, it is technically impossible for a Christian girl to marry a non-Christian. Technically, it's impossible for a Christian girl to marry a non. Why? The Bible already says in Amos 3:3, two cannot walk together unless they are. So when you see a Christian girl marry a non-Christian, they're agreed. What does that tell you? She backslid. It is not a Christian girl marrying a non-Christian. It's a backslider marrying a non-Christian. There is no way, technically, it's impossible to marry a non-Christian unless you yourself become a non-Christian. Am I communicating? So you need to understand, my sister, the day you marry a non-Christian, you are not a Christian, you are a former Christian. Am I communicating? Because by saying yes to a non-Christian, you must say no to Christ, isn't it? Because Christ has commanded you. You cannot walk together with a non-believer. So when you walk with a non-believer, you must say no to Christ in order to say yes to the boy. Am I communicating? And when you say no to Christ, what are you? A former Christian. So what we are emphasizing now is that for the church to grow, it will be important for you to remain single until the day God can give you a Christian spouse. Are we together? And that will be very important. Once you are now, so I hope I have emphasized that point enough, that it's okay to remain single, very okay to remain single, but you must be single and Christian. Double S, single and satisfied. Don't be single who is pretending to be single and you are partly married. Am I communicating? You must be double S, single and that way you will bring glory to God. Are we together? That will be very, very important. And I've written a book. I don't know whether the KSF is selling it. It's called Finding a Life Partner. One chapter is about why it's okay to remain single. A whole chapter. Okay, many parents don't want the chapter in the book, but the Bible wants it. You know, in Africa, we don't believe in single people, isn't it? But the Bible says some of us must remain single. Many of the missionary work done in Africa was done by single girls who came to Kenya as missionaries. That's why the church is the way it is today. Because some people remained, and even the African church will only grow if some of the girls remain double S, single and satisfied. When some of the young people remain double S, single and satisfied, who will serve the Lord as single people. But the majority, according to you use history, however, that is the minority. The majority are going to remain to get married. Now, once they are married, for them to be the kind of family that is going to bring up a Christian offspring, several things will happen. Number one, it must have a family mission, a family vision, sorry. First of all, a family vision. A family vision. What's a family vision? An agreement by the couple about the product of their life together. You see, each one of us must have a personal vision. What's a vision? A vision is a noun. It is your impact by the time you die. That is your personal vision. Vision is a noun. Vision is like the architect's drawing of the completed building before you even buy the plot. Am I communicating? So you need, each one of us needs a personal vision. If in that personal vision, you don't require a wife, then don't get married. So the first thing is, you must have a personal vision. What will be your impact by the end of the journey? But before you marry, find out what is your girlfriend's vision. What is your boyfriend's vision? If he tells you I have none, don't marry him. Because the guy is going nowhere and he wants you to take you there. Where? Nowhere. So it's important, the first qualification for somebody to marry is if they know where they are going. What is God's call on their life? But once you have established their calling, you must now compare it with your calling, and then you arrive at a family calling. And in the family calling, one person should not stop the other one going where God has called them. So you must work out what will be your two callings produce. That is what we call a family vision. Am I communicating? And it needs to be written. If you have been married for 10 years and you still have no family vision, it's not too late. You still, out of this conference, you must go back and write a family vision. What do you think will be accomplished by you are coming together? You've just seen, according to God's word, there is a family mission, isn't it? Yes. To produce godly offspring. Are we together? So you need to write down a family vision. Once there is a family vision, then you need to find out, how does KSF fit in your family vision? And when you realize that KSF is assisting you to fulfill your family vision, then you are going to come into the KSF work with your hoofs. You remember that in the book of Genesis, we learned, Exodus, we learned that Pharaoh wanted people to go, but leave some of their cows behind. He said, no, Moses told them, we must go, including the hoofs. Have you read that? In the same way, once you understand that KSF is assisting you to fulfill God's calling for you as a family, would you ever want to leave KSF? No. That's how I got involved in 868. I'm still involved in it. And because we have been fearing some people graduate out of KSF, we have now begun Elders Council. That is for people above 65. And I'm 65 this year. So, until my birthday, I don't qualify to join it. They don't want small boys like Nana. For you to join them, you must be over 65. Are you getting my point? So it's important to show people in their 70s and 80s there's still ministry to be done. Am I communicating? That ministry does not include getting leadership role. Once you're over 65, you are not allowed to take any leadership role within the KSF. You now become advisors, consultants, from behind, helping the work of God to go on. Am I communicating? So it's important to find out, how does the family vision fit into the KSF work? So, do you understand why you are together? What are you trying to produce? And how is what you are helping you to produce able to fit in within your wife's mission? You are coming together must not interfere with your wife's calling. You are coming together must not interfere with your husband's calling. In other words, the family mission must be something that will still help each individual to fulfill God's calling. Are we together? You know, some of you, when you came together, your husband's calling was forgotten. Many girls that were dynamite in KSF work decided as soon as they got married. And husband is very happy, right? So now you know you have to answer to God. That the devil used you to stop your wife's calling. If the devil used you to stop it, are you on your way to heaven? Can you be going to heaven? No. So it will be important as a husband to ask yourself, how is her marrying me helping her to fulfill God's calling? And you know, when you fit into God's calling, it's very easy. Last Saturday, I was supposed to be speaking in our church. I'm from Sitam Valley Road. I was supposed to be speaking to our Saturday Bible Exposition Hour. We call it Saturday PM. I spoke on the other Saturday and promised them that I'm going to speak to you again the following Saturday. Only when I went back to book, because the idea was to speak on Saturday in Nairobi, and then I take the morning flight on Sunday to speak in Eldoret University. Only when I went booking, they had cancelled all morning flights. The first early flight in Eldoret is 10 o'clock, and their morning service begins at 7. So I realized, can't go. So I rang the leaders, told them I have a problem. And they said, wow, within a week's notice, it's so challenging. We are looking for a speaker who will help us. It's what I request the receive, I remember. I married a girl where our calling is clear. And I just went back to them and told them, do you know Rebecca, my wife? Yes. Would you not want her to come to speak? Yes! Please talk to her. I talked to her, she agreed. That's how I took a flight. I had a leadership training for a church on Saturday, the whole day. Then I went home and took off to the airport to go to Eldoret as my wife was taking her car to go to Saturday PM. And so Saturday evening, she replaced me. And that's what I remember praying in 1973. I had just attended a T.L. Osborne conference in Kisumu. And I saw the way they worked, the husband and wife. I had no girlfriend. But as I saw how, in the week, T.L. Osborne, his voice went hoarse. The following Sunday, the following day, the wife took over. She spoke like the husband. I said, God, give me a wife like that. That was 1973. And last Saturday, I remembered God answered my prayer. Amen. That my wife would just replace me. Amen. And go on with ministry. That's what we are talking about. I married her on the basis of a prayer of 1973, although I married her in 1979. Somebody who we can team up to destroy the kingdom of the evil. Okay, my point? So, I now have no problem when I don't go to a place and say, oh, we have no speaker. I say, just speak to my wife. We have similarity of calling. Okay, my point? But many of you, as soon as you marry, you stop your wife. And her gift is brought operation. What stopped you? How can you stop God's work and hope to go to God's heaven? Not possible. Some of you are sisters who have nagged your husband, nagged at you. He no longer goes ministry. You have stopped his calling. And you expect to go to heaven? Which heaven? A heaven after you stop your husband going into ministry? It's important to understand as I go towards finishing, and I have a timer here. I've just done 53 minutes. I was given 60. I still have another 7. It's important to understand clearly. If you are going to go to God's heaven, you must develop a family vision that takes in what your wife is called to do, what the husband is called to do. You create a congruence into a mission where both are fulfilled. Next, and I'm finishing, you must have family core values. What's a value? A core value. A core value is a non-negotiable conviction. Something that's not debated. This family believes, that means even the children know there's no need of asking. I do remember one time there was something happening in Nairobi, and my children were teenagers. And they were not asking me. Every family was a trouble. In fact, I think there is a child that died among those bashes. They are called bashes, isn't it? And then I wondered, how come my children are not finishing? Oh, my children told me, I know you can't agree, so we never asked you. They understand the core values, non-negotiable convictions. Your children cannot ask you to pray. Why? They are willing to fail to go to that high school. If to go there requires praying. So you need to have core values that your children grow believing in. That way you get a family ministry because they are family values. And it's important to understand that. And you must have a family program, a family action program to implement the vision, the mission, and the core values. Something that brings the family together. Do you have a family action plan? That family action plan will clearly show there are certain types of universities you cannot send your children to. There are certain high schools that are producing wonderful grades, but your children can't go there because they will get grades on their way to the devil. Am I communicating? And you are interested in getting grades when children are on their way to heaven. Am I communicating? That's what we are talking about, getting a family mission. You know, a successful family is one that facilitates each to fulfill their life mission without stopping the fulfilling of the family mission. A successful family is one that sees the role of parents rather than owners of children. My new book is called A Leader as a Steward. You must see your children not as properties. You must see them as God's property, with you as a steward, assisting them to be what God wanted them to be. It must be a family. A successful family is one that does not regard ministry or profession as more important than family. You cannot get your career as more important than your family. Am I communicating? Because your career is an assistance for the family to fulfill its calling. Am I communicating? So every time your job is interfering with that, you are willing to resign it. You cannot do a job that's interfering with that. And I finish with 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 33. I have only 3 more minutes. 1 Corinthians 33 and 34 says, but a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world, how he can please his wife. Verse 34. And his interests are divided. An unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the Lord's affairs. Her aim is to be devoted to the Lord in both body and spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world, how she can please her husband. They are not being criticized. Paul is just noting a fact. That when you are single, your only attention is God's work. Are we together? When you get married, God himself gives you permission to have divided attention. First attention to God, the other attention to your spouse. Are you getting it? So when you tell your husband, no, don't you know I'm in God's calling, and you forget him, you can't be on your way to heaven. A person on the way to heaven is able to divide attention. Part of it to God, the other one to the spouse. That's scripture. Remember, marriage is not for heaven. We will need marriage here, isn't it? Remember the guy was asking, whose wife is he going to be, and he had married 7. He said, you don't understand scripture. In heaven we shall not have marriage. So don't join your wife, don't worry. Even if you are not doing well here, there is heaven. That's a lie. You either enjoy your marriage here or I'm not communicating. So I wanted you to understand the scripture. That as soon as you're married, serving God means serving your children. Serving God means serving your spouse. But after serving your spouse, He will facilitate you to also serve other people's children. Am I communicating? Yes. But the word of God is saying, if you are not married, then all your attention is on God. As soon as you are married, you must have divided attention. And you're not being condemned for it. Then Paul is not telling you to stop. He's actually encouraging you to continue. You must give attention to your children. Must give attention to your spouse. In the process, bring glory and allow biological. Let's pray together. I want to give you, in the 1 minute I have, I want to give you a moment to ask, what is the Lord telling me? It is good I'm involved in KSF work, but my time got to hell after all the attention to KSF work because I forgot my family. Would you like to tell the Lord, Lord, forgive me. As I go back out of this conference, I must reorganize my time to have attention to the wife of my youth, to the husband of my youth, and to produce godly offspring, even as I continue serving you in KSF work. There's somebody saying, Brother Nana, pray for me. I want God's forgiveness, but I also want Him with His help to know how to divide up my time so that I don't drop the ball. Who is saying, Brother Nana, pray for me? Just put up your hand. Once I see it, you put it down. The Lord bless you, put her down. The Lord bless you, brother. Outside, just put it high enough for me to see. The Lord bless you, put the hand down. Don't put up a second time. Is anybody else saying, yes, that was my message. I have to reorganize my time to be effective in KSF work without forgetting my immediate family. Anybody else? Just put the tie up. The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. Don't put up a second tie. Anybody else? The Lord bless you. Put the hand down. Anybody else? The Lord bless you at the back. The Lord bless you outside. Anybody else? Lord bless you. Lord Jesus, you can see the hands of many people going up. I pray that you will meet them at the point of their needs. Number one, forgive them when their life has not been balanced. Forgive them. They are coming to you in repentance. Forgive them. Having forgiven them, may your Spirit come to give them wisdom to know how to be effective, both at work and at home, both in the ministry and at home. Give them a sense of balance. May they truly serve you, such that they and their families and their students in their teams will all go to heaven to your honor and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you.